Well, good morning, and here we are. I am back from my holiday to Ibiza. If you've been following me along over there, welcome on board. It was a great holiday, 10 days, quite enough. I've been keeping up with what people have been doing on email back at the house, which has been great. Lots of things have happened, lots of really good news. First of all, the council has approved the plans, which I think is going to be a great thing for the clients to hear. So first things first, we're going to go in and see what progress they've made. I suspect lots of things have happened. Well, actually, I know lots of things have happened. So let's go and see and take a view at the house. So good morning from the house, here we are. So I walk in and quite a few changes have been made. So I'm here at the top of the house. You might remember sort of how this sort of looked before. This is obviously the last we will see of what used to be the chimney breast. So this is all nicely sort of drying out now. We've fortified it with both old and new bricks, put some concrete over the top just to solidify it. And now that will be ready for obviously plastering and everything else that goes on in this room. The flooring is the big topic. The flooring was actually bowing here. The issue was from the front to the back of the house, it was actually bowing quite a lot, about 5 inches, which is obviously quite a substantial amount. So what we're having to do is actually put in a new flooring, at least at the top of the house. So that's now pretty much been completed, if I can show you that here. So that's just the usual timbers, the beams and the plywood floor. So that will be a lot more secure, a lot more steady than what we had before, which was the floorboards. Speaking of which, going across the floorboards here, you can pretty much see the old bathroom just there. The tank has come out, so we've still got the pillar here in the middle, but by and large, that is exactly where it should be, and that's just waiting for everything else to be finished in there. Then we can sort of get planning properly with the kitchen and bathroom suppliers.
So one quick word about this bathroom and the other bedrooms. That's the steel up there. So this is the bathroom. So the guys here are just preparing for the floor. So here's one I prepared earlier. So the steel has gone in. So he's just sort of moving the dust out of the way. And next door, Andrew, the lovely carpenter, is actually putting the floor together. So this is what it looks like. You've obviously got the beams and the joists underneath, and he's measuring up the plywood to fit in. Obviously that's the old chimney breast, which has gone. And he's just working in this room, getting the floor done, so we can go ahead and do everything that we need to do. Hey! So there's a lot of work that obviously goes on, a lot of smoothing out, including the metalwork, so sparks will fly. And of course, as soon as that is done, the flooring will then look like this. So this is the new plywood flooring. It's a little bit dirty here because of the footprints. But it's looking very much better and very much straighter. So from the old to the new.
The back bedroom is pretty much the same. There's a few things that I just need to check and need to have a look at. Notably here is the sort of the end of the wall. This often happens when you get to a corner section. Sometimes wood and the whole beams and the whole structure of a wall finishes at one point. So we'll just need to put something across there to flatten that out, and then this will be quite a nice room, a little bit more extra room than we had, obviously with the chimney breast behind. Obviously that's gone as well. The steel is in at the top, which is the burgundy colour, which you can see right there. That's running all the way along from the back to the front of the house, so everything is now nice and secure. Let's see what's been happening down on the first floor. Still warm here in London. I guess it would be for August. Right, so we have a death trap on the floor here, so you can just about see that is going down. There's a gap there. That is going down to the ground floor below, where there's been most of the changes that has been happening. Up here, we obviously see what used to be the chimney breast, the front chimney breast for this suite, and then the back chimney breast over there. You'll remember this from the other day before I went away on holiday. There's a few things still left to do in here. We do actually have to think about what we're doing with the floor. I've asked them to put it on hold for a moment until I speak to the clients. This is really about money. It will probably mean that the actual floor is bowed as well down here. but I need to give them a costing, because that we had to do down here is kind of up to them of how much money they want to spend. They'll have to spend some money, of course, because we did have some water damage. If you remember the water damage just down there, that was where the old shower was, and that went right the way through. So the joists are damaged, so they are probably going to have to be replaced anyway. Other than that, everything else in here looking quite good. The steels are in there, it's fine. Builders downstairs noisily working along. We'll go and have a look at those next. They've actually been ripping out a lot of the structure downstairs, so as you actually come into the hallway, there were two walls, both left and right, and both of those were coming out. One of them is moving, the other one is coming out altogether. So there's an awful lot of rubble on site, but it looks quite amazing when you see what's been done. Let's go and have a look.
So down on the ground floor you can see the old joists above. Those are all going to be replaced, hopefully. And this is obviously all the rubble and bits of the wall that have been taken away. So there's all those rather awful, rather old joists, which I think are going to need to be replaced whether we like it or not. There's Jack, keeping it out of the way. And of course all the rubble and all the tools and everything have moved down. So you can see the props in the corner there. And if we sort of pan up, you can just about see exactly how bad those joists are. They've been here for a while, they've done their job. You can see the water damage up there from the master bedroom, that shower coming all the way through, so I'm glad that's gone. And this, up here, this is obviously where the wall was before. This wall is the one that's next to go. And so obviously we're going to have to put in some reinforcement up here just to keep everything exactly where it should be when we've finished. Of course, the other bits, obviously, there's another bit of steel at the top here. You can see that's the burgundy just running along there with their new little rivets. And of course, that's the dining room through there. So that's quite an important room, or at least it will become so. There's Tom just hammering away. We've got the flue tarpaulin on the top here just to protect it from the elements, but you can see it's not going to be quite as high as this, but still quite high enough. So we need to get the new parapet wall in, then fit the beams around where the skylight's going to be, and then we'll have lots of lovely lights coming in here. Lots of scaffolding, as you can see, lots of tools. This won't be here forever, but it's messy work and has to be done.
So downstairs on the lower ground floor, we've also had some changes, particularly this wall here. So if you remember, this was the study coming up here, and now this wall has completely gone. That's the back door, and the wall that was dividing this whole bit has gone. This wall behind me here is also going, so that's also going to be demolished, but we're working on the upper floor first before we can move down here. So we've done the supporting wall there and the supporting wall here, up on the ground floor and on the lower ground floor. So this is the one that's next to go. Let's have a quick look what's happening in what is going to be the kitchen. Pretty much the same here. The boys have set up their station as per usual. The kitchen is still here. This is one of the things that happened whilst I was away. I spoke at length to the builder about this. It's one of those things you have to look at, especially when you are away, is who's doing what and what answers you're going to be getting whilst you're away. So the people are actually doing the lantern light, which is this thing above here. You can kind of sort of see that. That is going to be replaced, and it's going to be replaced along with these doors here. And if you're replacing these doors, you need to make sure that you have the levels right, and the levels I mean on the ground. So as you can see, it's obviously still very messy, and we've obviously dug down quite a bit to see exactly what the foundations are like. But we really needed the engineer to come along, who was actually going to be installing this here, and actually to speak to the builder, because they're going to be working in conjunction, and this is something that you will have to get them together. It's no good you just trying to deliver what you think it should be. You have to get them together so they can ask all the right questions, and then everything is covered off, and you sort of need to babysit them a little bit just to make sure that they are all talking, they are have asked all the right questions, and they get all the right answers. Somewhat amusingly on this, of course, there is Percy the Pigeon. Now, of course, I'm sure you've been wondering what's happened to Percy the Pigeon. He's alive and well, and he's still sitting on the nest. So let's see if I can actually get a shot of Percy the Pigeon for you.
Now, I don't think I can actually see him. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I think he's just sort of still sitting up there, not doing much. You can just about see him through the foliage. Good old Percy.
So here we are again in the kitchen, back in the kitchen. I'm just going to show you, it's not a very good thing to show you, but as they've opened up the walls down here, they've obviously opened up the other side down here as well, which is obviously looking a little bit lighter. So this was obviously the other main bedroom, and that's been done as well. There's a lot of material down here. At the same time, you may or may not remember, we were going to do a trial pit down in the bathroom here, which we've actually done. So the only thing I need to do is find out what their findings are. I've got a feeling there's going to be a few hiccups, but let's have a look at it. That's the trial pit there. And that, we've just had a look at the drainage just to see what it's like. And that's generally because we want to put a shower in, and we want to put a shower in there, so we just need to dig down a little bit. But we want to see exactly what the foundations are like and what we can do, what we can't do, hence the trial pit. So that's next on my list to do, is check with the builder to see exactly what our findings are and what we're allowed. So that's it from the house today. I think there's quite enough that's been going on here whilst they've been away. There's still lots more to come today. From my point of view, I've now got to get back to my office. I now need to go through the emails, all the different questions, the invoices that have come in that need paying, from lots of different things, from the gardening job, a new valuation has come through from the builder, what they found, what they haven't, different options that you need to look at as far as monetary wise, so I can tell and inform the clients exactly what their options are and get decisions from them before we go ahead. There's a lot to do, of course, when you come back from holiday. I'm sure you know what it's like. You're a little bit happy from your holiday and you don't really want to do any work, but on this occasion you really just have to sort of press down and get right back into the thick of it, because people are expecting you to get back into the thick of it, and they need answers. So let's get back to the office, and I'll see you on the next video.